Howdy folks, AJ coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer. And today's video is going to fall into the category of gaming news. There was a milestone reached today. It was a Kickstarter campaign for Shroud of the Avatar. Forsaken Virtues is the entire title. Shroud of the Avatar, Forsaken Virtues. And for those of you that don't know anything about it, it is going to be the new role-playing game that's the new project of Richard Garriott, also known as Lord British, the guy who is responsible for the Ultima franchise. So, you know, the sky's the limit as far as this project goes. I'm sure he has very lofty expectations on what he wants to do. There is some news out there about, what the game is what the features are going to be. I will put a link in the description below to their website. There's quite a few videos and things on there where they go into all that. But the most important thing is that their Kickstarter campaign had a goal of $1 million, and it closed just under $2 million that they raised. So, almost double what their goal was. So as far as the funding, the initial look on the funding looks good. So the other promising news about this is that Tracy Hickman has been given the title of the lead story designer. I think that's it. Yeah, lead story design. And for those of you that don't know that name, Tracy Hickman is one of the authors of the Dragonlance series of novels in the Dungeons and Dragons franchise. I think it was well, I've got some of the novels up there. I can't remember the other author's name, but Tracy Hickman was one of the two, and she is also going to write a novel that's going to be a prequel to this game. So I'm guessing that the novel will probably come out, since it's a prequel, we're hoping that it'll come out before the game so that everybody can read it and get all juiced up for the game itself. The other thing that's kind of interesting regarding this game is that there's another name involved. We don't know to what extent yet, if at all. We have our fingers crossed. But Warren Spector has been interviewed by Richard Garriott on. There's a YouTube video where he is interviewed about this game, and they also talk about when they worked together on the Ultima series. And for those of you that don't know that name, Warren Spector is kind of a legend in the gaming industry. He was behind the Deus Ex franchise, the Thief franchise, the original System Shock, and there's some other. Of course, he worked on the Ultima series. So his resume is gleaming in the gaming world. So we don't know yet if he will be involved at all, but the fact that he was interviewed by Richard Garriott regarding this game, and I will put a link. I'm actually going to put a link specifically to that video, so you guys can, if you want to watch that interview, you can. We all, when I say we, I've been on the forums and so forth for the game, and it just seems, very coincidental that he's interviewing him about the game and about what they've done in the past, and that he's starting up this new project. So we're fingers are crossed again, hoping that Mr. Spector is involved in some way. Now, having said all that about this project, we all have to be a little, in the back of our minds, we gotta be a little skeptical because of another similar project that in the recent past that kind of, if something could blow up, I mean, it did it in spectacular fashion, and I'm talking about Project Copernicus by 38 Studios, the now famous Kurt Schilling studio debacle. Because when that was announced, you had Kurt Schilling, who is a longtime gamer in the EverQuest 2, World of Warcraft realms, and all that. And the fact he was a famous baseball player is kind of a second aside, But he was known as a big time huge gamer, and he came with a lot of cash. But you also had Todd McFarlane of Spawn, who did all the artwork, created all these great action figures and comic books and graphic novels and all that, all the artwork for all that. So, huge name as far as art direction goes, which he was going to be on Project Copernicus. He was the lead art direction guy or whatever. And then you had R.A. Salvatore, who was, as most everybody knows, is probably the most famous of all authors in the Dungeons and Dragons Forgotten Realms series of books. And he was the lead story designer for Project Copernicus. So you had those powerhouses there, and it seemed like they had plenty of cash and all that. And that went to shit in a handbasket overnight. I mean, just all of a sudden they were having problems, and next thing you know, they're bankrupt and they're getting sued by the state. Blech. So, with this new project of Richard Garriott's, now he's got a lot of money. I mean, he's got a lot. I mean, the man went to frickin' space. He could afford to go to space. So, let's just hope that along with the Kickstarter, he's using some of his capital and everything else. And, he's got a great track record, now, having said that, of course, he did have a flop, and I'm talking about Tabula Rasa there, but that didn't do so well. So, but nevertheless, let's just hope that we don't have the same problem that we had with Project Copernicus and 38 Studios. So, anyway, and some of the features that they're talking about, they're talking about a deep crafting system. They're talking about player housing involving player cities and all these lofty expectations and ideas and things. So, God bless them. I hope it grows great, and I hope that this is a success, and I hope that we get the game that we're all expecting. So, anyway, that's all there is to say about Shroud of the Avatar at the moment. I will, of course, keep you posted as new information comes out. To end this video, as I usually try to show you something from my gaming archives. And I just happened to run across, it was coincidental, I ran across this old magazine. And it was for the Commodore 64, Commodore 128, Commodore Amiga games, computer systems back in the day. And I don't even know what year this is from. Let's see if it even says here. August 1991. And, they're talking about publishing with Geos and all this. But the reason that I thought that was kind of coincidental was, as I looked through it, the very first, they have a game section in here, of course, games for them. And the very first one was Ultima 6. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's got a review of Ultima 6 on there, and it actually gives it an A-. So, there you go. This might, I'm guessing that might bring us some memories for some of you old-time gamers like me, the fact that there was even a magazine for Commodore. That's kind of, I don't know, kind of funny to me. So, anyway, that's it for this video. If you guys liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, do it thumbs down. Leave me some comments. If you have questions, whatever, send me an email, whatever. Have a good night, and we will catch you on the flip side.